How are your fans reacting to kind of, I think a lot of the, your rise to fame was during your time, the content cops were like, not rise to fame, but like a lot of growth
Yeah,
during that time.
that's fair.
So are you experiencing any kind of kickback from fans who are like, fuck documentaries and good vibes? I want iDubbbz shitting on people. You get that?
No, like it's one of those things where it's like I think the simp debacle has really helped that, where it's like I'm purging sort of inadvertently a portion of my audience that really wants to see me go for the throat,
Content cop your own girlfriend, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you explain the simp phenomenon?
Explain it. I mean, I can tell you that it was like my video was either really well timed or really poorly timed. Depending on your perspective.
Or I'm more specifically, why are people calling you a simp?
I mean,
well,
do you want me to? I'm pretty sure we've
talked about it.
Understand
I'm just
why. It's because my girlfriend is selling nudes on the internet.
Yeah, I just wanted to set it up for the audience. Obviously, I know why.
I mean, we've also talked about it.
Well,
by the way, guys, I want to make it clear. I'm not upset with Ethan right now.
Yeah. Why are we fighting?
Friendly banter.
Okay, you just prevented like 5 videos.
I know. I gotta fucking put out the fires before they fucking start.
Thank you, Ian. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, people are fucking stupid.
We just spawned 20 video essays.
Yeah.
No, Ian's girlfriend made a OnlyFans, which is, I guess, does she even do nudes on OnlyFans? It's more like
no. It's I mean, the reason
sexy photos,
I guess.
Right. It's super easy to justify when you're like, yeah, like this is the shit girls are doing on Instagram, and no one's whining and bitching and moaning over that.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start taking people's money for that content, it's like, oh, that's too much.
I expect girls to show me their junk for free.
Yeah.
Or a bit. No, actually, so it does seem to me that a lot of people who are criticizing it are people who, are just happy to find an opening to criticize you, because for the longest time, I feel like, there was never really a chink in your armor, and that you were always very careful with your, why are you smiling?
No reason. I mean, I'm smiling because I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think like there's like these commentary people, right, who are just looking for content. They're like piranhas anywhere they can get it. And then all of a sudden you see an opening on like iDubbbz, who's kind of the great criticizer who is beyond criticism, and then all of a sudden it's a great headline. I don't think anyone's actually offended by the fact that your girlfriend has an OnlyFans. I think that it's just they see an opportunity for a video.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I mean, it kind of shows in like I think the people in general who did get upset or did make videos about it. It's kind of like I don't know, like the people who are like actually critical of it, like they're not really in a mainstream sphere. They have their, soapbox that they're speaking on to their particular audience. But I think it's actually super positive that it ended up this way, because I think for a long time when I'd have a first interaction with someone, meeting someone for the first time, I think a lot of people sort of expected me to like immediately roast them, do a content cop on them. People just being nervous, like, oh yeah, they see me in the videos being an asshole, and it's like that must be him in real life.
Taking notes on me.
Yeah. So it really is a positive thing to I guess in a way take this hit. To make me,
humanizes you, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. It humanizes me and makes people realize that I'm just like them. I'm not.
It's
I'm not
pretty
any
funny
different.
because you're actually like kind of the opposite of that in person. Like
I think Ian's a softie.
You're a really nice person.
Yeah.
You know?
But
So, it's kind of funny that's what the image they have of you. You know?
Right. It's like, especially with the videos that got popular, it's like I genuinely, you know, got fucking roid raged when talking about like Keemstar, whoever else, because you know it made me mad. And you know, when you see, I think people who have that who that's like their main form of content is like just kind of dogging other people, or they got, you know, well known for it. That definitely, I think, solidifies what you think their personality is.
The whole simp thing was like the first time you were on the receiving end of catching shit on the internet. How did it feel to kind of be on that end of the old shit gun?
It hurt. It hurt me.
It's the worst, isn't it?
Well, I think you're being sarcastic, but did it?
No, I'm not being sarcastic.
Yeah.
See, that's part of the problem. Is without this, people would just think I'm above it and all that. No, it hurt. I'm human. It hurt me, hurt my feelings to hear people say things like simp, cuck, motherfucker.
Well, it's not so much what they say. It's like just the scope of negativity aimed at you. You feel that, you know, you can't just dodge.
And also I can only imagine that as a couple too, it must be difficult to both get it. And then as a couple, you know, it's like a lot.
I'm certain you guys, would understand it. I think it's brought us like a lot closer together because it's like, we're in this together.
Yeah.
You know, when shit hits the fan, it's like, you don't really have anyone to rely on. You're not going to get fulfillment by reading comments. You're going to get it from each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's only strengthened the relationship, apart from her being in Canada right now. But, it's overall a good thing. You know, it's not negative. I think everyone needs to, every content creator needs to experience some of this during their career because it's important. It gives you perspective on what it feels like, whether or not you want to engage in it when it happens. You know, if someone's getting dogged on, like you're going to think twice if you've experienced it before. So it's important, I think, for everyone to get a taste of it. I'm more than happy that this was my controversy.
Well, you didn't really do anything. That was kind of the thing that stumped me the most.
Which is why I'm like, I'm cool with it. Like, you know,
but I was kind of, I won't say I was shocked that it became a thing because knowing the internet, I wasn't surprised. But people somehow found a way to make it seem like you did something wrong when you literally did nothing. So I found that whole thing kind of perplexing. It frustrated me. Were you frustrated by it? You're like, what exactly am I being criticized for?
I think the only frustrating thing was when people couldn't read between the lines in like previous videos. I think a lot of people I made a green screen compilation of me basically saying, look at this slut, look at this whore, and all this shit. And like people were using that, some people, not everyone, were using that as like evidence of me being hypocritical, as if that's even too much of a bad thing. That's literally everyone. But they were using that as some kind of evidence. And I'm like, that was a joke. I was saying, look at this whore to a green screen.
To nobody, yeah.
You could have put yourself or your grandmother up on that green screen, and that changes the context.
Yeah.
Like,
or a hot dog.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good point.
It's just that frustration, I think. I think some people also watch like the Tana Moju content cop and thought like he hates this type of person. So they're lumping like a general type of person together where it's like the amount of times I've seen like the meme where it was like, you were meant to destroy the simps, not join them. Right. It was like a fucking Star Wars meme. I think.
Yeah.
And I'm just like rolling my eyes, like, come on, like, what is this weird expectation? Like,
you were meant to destroy the Sibs, Ian. You have lost your way.
I don't know where in the charter of the formation of my channel I said the purpose is to eliminate thoughts, sluts, and simps.
Yeah, I find that interesting. It's almost like they're projecting but this whole thing is like so hateful towards women, isn't it?
It's very
And
chauvinistic.
and they're just projecting like their inceldom on you.
I think the misunderstanding comes in where like a lot of people think that like what we're saying is that you need to be okay with it. Like you need to be okay with our relationship or whatever. And it's like, no, it's perfectly fine if you don't want that in your relationship.
Mhm.
But
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
that's not what's being advocated. It's not saying this should be the new world order.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
every person's wife should be on OnlyFans.
Right.
Right.
Like
I'm
it's
okay with
not-
Hila doing OnlyFans. I think we'd make a lot of
Oh,
supplement our
I
income a
thought
lot.
you said you weren't. I'm okay with you being on OnlyFans.
Who do you think would get more, me or you?
Well, as soon as he thought of the dollar signs, he was like, maybe it's not a terrible idea.
We can supplement our income.
Yeah.
I was
I mean, that's
actually-
it, right? It's like in the context of most people talking about this, what I've noticed is a lot of people do the sort of like, what would you do in this situation? And it's
Right.
like, it's really not important because it's like,
That's not
if-
even in question. No one is talking about you or your
right,
relationship.
that's the whole point. It's like, we're fine with people not doing it. If you value the money more than exposing more of your body to the internet, like then more power to you. That's great. I think that's what Anissa and I value. We're like, oh yeah, we're fine with that.
And I've watched Anissa's video about it, about if she regrets it, and I thought it was really interesting that she said it's actually been really good for her, not only financially, which probably has been huge, but even just for her own like self-confidence and like being more out there and coming to
Absolutely.
I can tell as if, myself, I have a lot of insecurities. So I could understand what she was talking about. And it sounds like it was really good for her. So
That's
really
I think
cool.
the number one thing that people sort of get wrong when they're talking about it. And I would say it's more likely than not guys or not guys, a person who's in a relationship who feels like not fulfilled or like they're not contributing their fair share or whatever the mentality is. I think a lot of people don't get that it's not always about money. Like money's nice. That's obviously part of the equation. But the other part of the equation is I need something. I want something. Anissa's streaming wasn't going like that well. It's not a fucking rocket ship. She needed to do something else, and that's what she wanted to do. And it's more about purpose. A lot of people would say, iDubbbz is a fucking millionaire. He makes so much money. Why can't he that's sad. That's sad if he can't just pay for her life. Like what the fuck?
It's so that is
not what
so
it's about.
Missing the point because she wants to be fulfilled, and I totally get that. And like in our case, it's different because we started together the YouTube channel, but even there was a point before we started Teddy Fresh where Ethan was actually doing most of it. Like he was doing the editing and he was in the videos, and it felt like I wasn't pulling my weight. And there
was friction.
I felt so restless and like just not good about myself. And it's like, okay, I'll do the dishes because, I might as well do something, but this is not my calling, And
no, totally.
Yeah, but a lot of people online would want your calling to be doing the dishes.
Well, that's what I was going to say is that
so
it's the same people who would call you a simp. Like they don't understand that a female in a relationship couldn't be fulfilled by just being provided.
But also what's funny, if she wasn't like that and she was just fine with using his money, they would call her a gold digger, right?
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then she would be that person.
I mean, that was happening for, basically 3 years of our relationship is people saying that you're just doing this for clout and whatever else. And it's like, if you think she's doing it for clout, you're sorely mistaken because she hasn't seen a fucking ounce of
Where's the
like,
clout?
yeah.
All I saw was
he has
her
only
catching
gotten
a ton.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all I saw
catching
was
a
her
ton of
catching
shit.
tons and tons of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are fucking cruel, man. It's probably wasn't been easy for her to be your girlfriend because, because for the express, fact that people are looking for ways to criticize you, and I think by proxy, a lot of people saw her as an opportunity to get at you.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen that over the years. It's just like, yeah, there's nothing with you. Let's attack your girlfriend kind of thing. And it's like, I mean, she makes it easy because she live streams and she speaks her mind and shit. You guys would know that.
I know that well.
The more like I would be in the same fucking situation guaranteed if I had as much content out there online as Anissa does. And everyone would be in the same position.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's like you're just putting yourself out there day after day, entertaining people with zero cuts for hours on end.
Right.
You're going to say stupid shit all the time.
And by the way, for you not to contradict yourself over the course of let's say we were doing this podcast for over over maybe even 4 years now we've been doing it. A lot of those years was live. For this whole the hypocrite label is somehow become
it's too much of a throwaway statement.
Yeah,
it doesn't hold a lot of weight because it's
it's like the immediate
I'm a hypocrite,
go-to.
okay?
No, you don't
insult.
you don't even need to unpack that at all. It's just you're a hypocrite. That's the worst insult you can lay against somebody on the internet for some reason.
Yeah.
And how is it possible to not contradict yourself over 4 years of life?
Well, even as I'm having this, conversation, I'm thinking back into the past at moments when I called other people hypocrites. And I think one of the moments was in, I think this is maybe the only time in the Keemstar Content Cop. And even that makes me hesitate because to even talk about it in a more mature, evolved way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm some fucker's going to take that shit from that video and be hypocrite. It's what the fuck?
Yep, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
It's
an absolute minefield.
Yeah, it is, man. That's why it's amazing that you've been beyond criticism for so long. But
it's very fucking easy to be without criticism when you don't share anything about your life and you just
You're
attack
very
others.
private.
that's kind of the only way to do it, right?
Yeah. I could have avoided this whole thing. I could have broken up with my girlfriend. That's what a lot of people suggest, right? Oh, don't worry. You could solve this whole thing by just breaking up with her.
Can you imagine?
What are you?
What world do you live
even
in?
Human?
Oh my God.
I wonder, would they be happy if you made a content cop on her when she announced OnlyFans? I'm announcing today that I'm breaking up with my ex-girlfriend Anissa, who is selling her body.
New video in 1 hour. Content Cop Anissa.
Yeah.